Iron Man thought the clone was dangerous, so he killed it. But the scream that followed shook Asgard's core. It wasn't a clone. It was something older, realer, divine. And now, Thor has vanished, with lightning that burns through realms. To stop a war, the Avengers turned to one man who doesn't flinch, Wolverine. His claws don't care if you're a god, only if you bleed. But when Thor sees the face of the assassin they sent, only one of them will walk away from that sky. The skies over the Pacific split open like old metal. Stark's armor sensors went red before the clouds even had time to form shapes. Whatever this thing was, it wasn't from Earth, and it wasn't cloaked. A golden blur streaked through the atmosphere, trailing lightning that didn't look borrowed. It looked born. Stark narrowed his eyes. "Thor," he whispered into the mic. But there was no response. No Asgardian frequency. No Bifrost signature. Just raw power crackling through the clouds like the world's spine was breaking. Then came the strike. It leveled half a glacier in Alaska. No warning. No control. Just impact. The shockwave knocked Tony's suit back 2 miles midair. When he stabilized, his HUD filtered the scene. In the crater kneeling was Thor, or what looked like Thor. Long hair matted with rain, cape soaked. But the eyes, they weren't storm blue. They were dim, like someone had painted lightning over something already dead. Tony blinked. Friday, confirm ID. Unable to verify. DNA matches. 86%. Not complete. His gut clenched. Clone. Unknown origin. But whatever it is, it just absorbed a Stark satellite. He zoomed in. The clone, or copy, or whatever this abomination was, stood, turned toward him, and smiled. It wasn't Thor's smile. That was all Stark needed. He didn't call the Avengers. Didn't wait for clearance. Didn't ask for Heimdall. Because whatever that thing was, it wasn't acting like a god. It was acting like a weapon. So he used one. The proton core. A weapon he'd only theorized. A beam fused with graviton pulse and arc plasma. Designed to tear through anything celestial grade. The kind of tech Stark never wanted to use. But today, he fired it without hesitation. The beam hit the clone square in the chest. For a second, nothing. Then the scream came. It wasn't metal. It wasn't code. It wasn't even pain. It was thunder, begging to be remembered. The clone exploded. Lightning ripped through the skies, tore clouds in half. Every bird within 50 miles fell dead from the air. Stark spiraled, smoke bursting from his chest plate. But the crater was silent now. Nothing left. Just steam. Just guilt. He hovered for a moment, panting, chest plate overheating. It's done, he told himself. But deep in the cosmic frost layer beneath that crater, a rune pulsed. It hadn't pulsed in 10,000 years. Asgard didn't hold funerals like Earth. They held storms. And across the 9 realms, a silence fell like the universe was holding its breath. Thor didn't return to Earth. Didn't answer Avengers' calls. Didn't even let Odin's echoes reach him. He walked alone, barefoot through the astral winds of Alfheim. The echo of that scream still haunting his skull. He knew what Tony had done. He felt it. Because what Stark killed wasn't a clone. It was part of him. Not a copy. Not a replication. A shard. A living echo of the Thor who wielded Mjolnir before the hammer had a name. A forgotten version, broken off by celestial combat centuries ago. Banished. Hidden. Until it woke up, without memory, without mercy. It had returned to Earth by instinct, searching for meaning. And Iron Man killed it. Thor didn't scream. He simply vanished. Not to grieve, to prepare. Because what Stark killed was the only thing keeping the storm inside Thor from waking up again. Where is he? Gone, said Dr. Strange. The kind of gone that doesn't obey maps or math. He's not dead, Natasha said flatly. No, Bruce added, but something in him probably is. The Avengers were quiet until Stark walked in. Burn marks still seared his armor. I made the call, he said. I stand by it. That thing was a threat. It wasn't a thing, Steve Rogers said coldly. It was him. A version of him. You didn't even hesitate. I did what I had to. You want to debate morality? Call Charles Xavier. I saved a continent. You lit the fuse on a god, said Banner. And now there's no telling what comes next. Everyone turned as the shield alert blinked on. A black rift. Northern Scandinavia. Frost fields reduced to steam. Lightning with no origin, no sound, no pulse. Just presence. One that even Heimdall's AI couldn't track. Steve looked up slowly. We need someone who doesn't care about gods. No one said the name. They didn't have to. Logan's cigar sizzled in the snow. I heard, he muttered, claws half popped out. Stark poked a Thunder Bear with a nuke, and now you want me to clean it up? You're the only one who can get close without getting roasted, said Fury. He won't see you as a threat. Oh, he'll see me all right, Logan growled. He remembers me. We've danced before. Fury tossed him a dossier. Mission is off the books. No cameras. No public trail. What's the actual goal? If he's gone rogue, Fury paused. You end it. Logan looked at the sky. It was already turning gray. Thunder's coming, he said. He popped his claws. Good thing I brought sharp friends. The wind in Scandinavia didn't blow like it used to. It whispered names in Old Norse. Names no one alive had spoken in centuries. Wolverine landed in the dead center of the frost scar. No jet, no support, no backup. Just his boots and his bones and a low growl that never left his throat. He sniffed the air once. Thunder, metal, ash. But no blood, not yet. The crater was still warm. Not from the sun, but from something beneath it. A pulse. Something buried. Something humming like the bones of the earth were tuning a weapon. He crouched, dragged 2 fingers through the dirt. The ice around the rocks had melted in a perfect spiral. Not random. It was a message. Not words. Just intent. Logan stood, cracked his neck. He wasn't here to read signals. He was here to end one. You watching, Goldilocks, he muttered. Lightning flickered behind the clouds. A warning. Or maybe an answer. He kept walking. Back in Avengers Tower, Stark stared at the hologram on loop. The death moment. The flash. The scream. Over and over. Slowed to the microsecond. There, right before detonation, was a flicker. Not in the clone's face, but behind the eyes. Recognition. Pain. Even fear. That wasn't coding. That was consciousness. And he killed it. Tony, said Bruce, walking in. You're not sleeping. I'm not here to nap, Stark replied. I'm here to figure out how I killed something that wasn't supposed to exist. You did what you had to. No, I did what I thought was easy. He leaned forward. What if that thing wasn't attacking Earth? What if it was returning to Earth? Bruce went silent. The worst part wasn't what Stark had done. It was the silence Thor left behind. Wolverine trekked through 3 miles of jagged stone and dead pine before he saw it. A tree split from the center upward, like lightning had carved it open from the soul. Not burnt, clean. At the top hung a pelt. Wolfskin, old, Asgardian, marked in gold runes. Below it an axe. Not Mjolnir, not Stormbreaker. Something older, made of root and iron, and something that pulsed like it still remembered war. Logan didn't touch it. Didn't need to. He could feel the rage off it. Thor had been here, and he'd been thinking. That was the problem. An angry god you could fight, but a grieving one, a thinking one, that's where wars begin. Logan moved on. The second signal came 3 hours later. A pulse that knocked every GPS satellite 20 seconds out of sync. The origin, deep within the ruins of an old Viking tomb. One lost beneath an avalanche decades ago. Wolverine sliced through the last of the icy rubble with one clean arc. Inside, silence. Then a breath. Thor stood at the far end of the hall. No armor, no hammer. Just skin, scars, and lightning resting on his shoulders like a robe. He didn't speak, didn't move, didn't threaten, just watched. Wolverine didn't blink. He stepped into the tomb, claws humming in the cold air. They sent me, he said. I know, Thor replied quietly. Not to talk. I know that too. Then let's not waste time. I wish I could. Logan narrowed his eyes. You hiding or healing? I'm remembering, Thor answered. Then the tomb flashed. Not light, but memory. Raw, living, divine memory. And Logan was inside it. He wasn't on Earth anymore. He wasn't even in a realm he could name. He was standing on a battlefield of stars. Celestials screaming in the dark. Thor, young, reckless, wild, wielding not Mjolnir, but lightning made of pure story. Every strike he made created a version of himself. Fragments, shadows, anchors, not clones, pieces of soul. Each one held a part of him the Celestials couldn't erase. Each one exiled to live in a different timeline. The last one, the one Stark killed, was the final piece. And with that death, the locks had shattered. Wolverine dropped to his knees, breath caught in his throat. Not from awe, from understanding. What are you becoming? He whispered. Thor's voice rumbled like an avalanche inside the stars. Something older than thunder, and far less kind. Logan came to, face soaked in cold sweat. Thor stood inches from him now. No aggression, just acceptance. You were sent to stop me. Yeah. Will you try? Yeah. They stood in silence. Wolverine's claws slid out slow. No rage, no shout, just instinct. I won't hold back, he muttered. I hope you don't, Thor replied. Then lightning fell, not from the sky, but from Thor's own skin. It didn't crack, it sang. The tomb exploded outward, sending both of them flying. Logan hit the ground rolling, slashing through a bolt midair. It didn't hurt, it burned memory into his bones. Visions, Asgard breaking, Earth drowned in electric fire. Thor landed like a meteor, creating a trench 10 meters deep. No hammer, just fists. And that look in his eyes, the one no mortal wanted to see. The storm wasn't coming. It was him. Back at tower control, Stark's screen cracked from internal feedback. Wolverine's gone dark, Natasha said. No signal, Bruce muttered. Even his healing trace is scrambled. Stark clenched his fists. He found him. Steve leaned forward. Do we intervene? No, Stark whispered. Why not? Because if we go in now, we don't make it out. Natasha stared. So we just wait? Stark shook his head. No. We pray the right man was sent. Wolverine rose from the rubble, bones cracked, jacket shredded, hair lit up from residual charge. He spat blood, then smiled. All right, Thunderboy, he growled. Round two. Thor didn't respond, just raised his hand. The sky screamed, and the ground remembered what gods were made of. The next blast wasn't lightning, it was pressure. Pure, crushing, cosmic pressure that shoved the mountains aside like they were crumbs on a table. Wolverine felt his ribs crumble, heal, crumble again, then stitch themselves back together with a fire that felt older than rage. Thor stood on a ridge of stone, his silhouette glowing like a sun trying to remember how to explode. His hair floated, pushed upward by currents no human weather station could track. The storm wasn't around him anymore. It was inside him, moving under his skin, pulsing behind his eyes, humming like a drumbeat for war. Logan wiped blood from his teeth and cracked his knuckles. You're hitting harder than last time. Thor didn't blink. He didn't even breathe. You saw my past, he said. You saw what Stark destroyed. Logan spat. I saw a lot of things. A version of you who didn't deserve to die. Thor's jaw tightened. It was not a clone. I know. It was me. Logan didn't argue. The world didn't need more truth. It needed a solution. And the man in front of him wasn't interested in one. The next heartbeat felt like the world held still. Then Thor moved. Not like a god. Like a weapon, remembering what it was built for. He lunged forward, closing 500 feet in a blink. But Wolverine was already rolling to the side, claws scraping stone. Thor's fist punched through the rock where Logan's head had been, shattering it into dust. The shockwave alone threw Logan through the air like a ragdoll. He hit the ground and sank several feet into the dirt. He struggled up, coughing dust, claws sparking with residual lightning. You're not thinking straight, he growled. I am thinking clearer than ever, Thor replied, walking toward him, each step cracking the ground. The peace Stark killed was the last thing keeping a storm inside me from waking. His eyes flashed white, blank white, like every emotion had been wiped clean. The storm is awake now. Logan didn't respond. Words didn't matter. Not here. Not anymore. Thor extended a hand. Lightning shot outward, not as a beam, but like a net. 1,000 thin strands of electric memory, wrapping around Wolverine's arms, legs, chest. Not burning, not shocking, showing. Flashes assaulted Logan's mind, scenes stitched together with violent clarity. The first time Thor lifted a weapon. The first time he understood war. The first time he felt the Celestials pierce his flesh, carving spirit from body, splitting him into fragments so he would never rise fully again. Every version of Thor he saw was strong, broken, or furious, but never complete. Until now, Logan's knees buckled under the weight of the memories. His claws retracted, not by choice. His body simply couldn't hold him out while drowning in God's pain. Thor stepped close, too close. "You understand now," Thor whispered. "What I'm becoming." Wolverine forced his eyes up. A storm without a sky. Thor paused. He hadn't expected Wolverine to describe it so perfectly. "You think I want this?" Thor asked. "No," Logan said, "but you're letting it win." Thor's face twitched, barely, but it was enough. The lightning dimmed for a moment. One moment. Then Thor's expression hardened. "The storm cannot be stopped. Not anymore." "It can," Logan said, "if you let someone help." Thor grabbed him by the throat, lifted him off the ground with one hand. "Help." Thor repeated, "I am beyond help." Logan's claws shot out, all 6, straight into Thor's side. Not killing blows, not disabling strikes, just enough to remind him he could bleed. Thunder erupted from Thor's mouth in a wordless roar. He hurled Wolverine across the valley, Logan's body skidding through frozen dirt until he slammed into the trunk of a broken tree. His vision blurred. His bones screamed. He forced himself up anyway. "I ain't scared of you," he said, voice shaking. "So stop acting like you're scared of yourself." Thor froze. That sentence cut through him sharper than any lightning. Wolverine felt it and pressed harder. "You didn't run to hide," Logan said. "You ran because you were afraid of what you'd do next." Thunder cracked, but it wasn't an attack. It was emotion, raw, violent, unshielded. "You think I fear my own power?" Thor asked quietly. "I think you fear the man who can't control it." For the first time since the fight began, Thor looked away. Lightning flickered across his knuckles, less like a weapon, more like trembling fingers. Wolverine took a step forward. "No one blames you for being angry," he continued. "No one blames you for hurting. But the world that's scared of you also needs you. And the Avengers." Logan shook his head. "They don't want to kill you." Thor looked back at him. "You were sent to kill me." Logan didn't waver. "Yeah, I was. And if you go full storm on Earth, I'll try. I ain't apologizing for that." He slid his claws back into his hands. "But if you want me to put the claws away, then you damn well better tell me what's really happening." Thor exhaled. It shook the valley. But it wasn't anger. It was grief. "The Celestials split me long ago," Thor said. "Separated parts of me, so I would never ascend. So I would never unlock the storm my blood carries." Wolverine listened. "As long as even one shard survived, I was balanced, stable, mortal enough to walk with humans without destroying them." "And Stark killed the last one," Logan said quietly. Thor nodded. "And with it the last chain." The sky rumbled. Wind shifted. Colors bled into the clouds. The storm was listening now. "And what happens next?" Logan asked. Thor raised his eyes. "I become what my ancestors were. Not a king, not a warrior." His voice darkened. "A force." Logan tensed. "A force that does what?" Thor didn't answer with words. He raised his hand, and the earth shook. Not violently, not destructively, just enough to reveal truth. The ground split to the side, revealing a buried mark. An enormous Asgardian spiral burned deep into the bedrock. Wolverine stared. "What is that?" Thor's voice dropped into something ancient, something not entirely his. "A path." "To where?" to a future without Earth. Wolverine's blood ran cold. "You're planning to wipe us out." Thor didn't nod. He didn't deny it either. "It is not vengeance," Thor said. "It is inevitability." Wolverine extended his claws again, not with anger, but with resignation. "You know I can't let you do that." Thor's eyes glowed white. "I know." Lightning surged. Wolverine roared, and the storm answered. The valley exploded in light as the two collided. Claw meeting thunder, mortal meeting God, will meeting fate. Trees combusted, rocks liquefied. The air itself shook apart. But through the chaos, Logan saw something in Thor's expression. Not rage, not power, not divine destiny. Something smaller, something human. Hesitation. Thor didn't want to kill him, but the storm inside him did. Logan only had one chance, to reach the man before the god erased everything. He dove straight through the lightning, took the full hit, bones melting from the inside, and slammed his fist against Thor's chest, not to wound, not to kill, but to grab him, pull him close, and shout into his face, "You're still Thor. Start fighting like it." The storm froze, just for a heartbeat. But that heartbeat might have been enough. The world didn't stop shaking. Not outside, not in the sky, but inside Thor. The storm wasn't something he controlled anymore. It was something that had him. It threaded through his veins like living fire, whispering old prophecies in the voice of every dead god he buried. Wolverine didn't back down. Even half-burned, bones glowing under torn skin, claws flickering with lightning that wasn't his. He stood right in Thor's face. "You want to kill Earth?" Logan growled. "Do it, but know what it makes you." Thor's breath trembled, not from weakness, but from pressure. Power pushed behind his ribs like a second heart, thundering louder than his own. "I am no longer Thor," he whispered. Wolverine grabbed the front of his chest plate. That's the problem. Thor's hand twitched, reflex, instinct, rage, but it didn't strike. Something inside him cracked instead. The sky pulsed, then stillness. A wind blew through the valley. Calm, cold, real. Thor stepped back, chest rising and falling, lightning retreating from his skin like it was unsure what to do next. Wolverine stayed ready, not to fight, but to catch him if he fell. "I saw it all," Thor said finally. "The Celestials, the anchors, the pieces of me scattered across time." He looked up. The version Stark killed was the last gate between me and what I was meant to become. Wolverine exhaled through gritted teeth. "Then don't become it." "You don't understand," Thor said. "I don't get to choose." "Then fight the thing making the choice for you." Thor looked away, eyes distant. "You think I haven't tried? You ain't tried hard enough." Thor's fists clenched, but his power, his storm, didn't rise. Wolverine stepped closer, quiet now. Not a threat, just a voice. "You've lost pieces before. Friends, brothers, hell, half the damn galaxy. And you always got back up. You always chose the right side." Logan jabbed a claw into the ground. "But now you're scared it wasn't really you making those choices. You think it was the anchors, the past versions, the pieces keeping you human." Thor didn't reply. He didn't have to. Wolverine nodded. "That's the war, isn't it? Not Earth, not Stark, not even the Celestials." He tapped his temple. "It's right here." Thor closed his eyes, and for a moment the lightning flickered and then went dark. In Avengers Tower, the skies cleared on the satellite feed. "Signal restabilizing," Banner said. "What changed?" Natasha asked. Stark leaned forward, watching the readings shift from chaos to calm. Logan reached him. Steve crossed his arms. "You sure?" Stark nodded once. "Yeah." He didn't kill him. Not yet. Thor knelt in the shattered frost, thunder gone quiet for the first time in days. Wolverine stood beside him, arms crossed, watching. "You done?" Thor looked up. "No," he said, "but I'm no longer out of control." Logan raised an eyebrow. "So what now?" Thor didn't answer immediately. Instead, he drove his hand into the earth, not in rage, but in purpose. From deep below, something rose. A metal ring, ruined, ancient, burning cold. "A soul anchor?" Logan asked. "The last fragment I didn't know about," Thor replied. "Buried in the one place I never dared look." "Inside yourself?" Thor nodded, and as he touched it, the storm inside him didn't roar. It bowed. For the first time, Thor didn't feel like a weapon. He felt whole. Logan turned to leave. "Where you going?" Thor asked. "Back to Stark. Gotta tell him the world ain't ending today." Thor rose, lightning coiling around his wrist like a pet snake. "Tell him I still remember who I am." Logan grinned. "Good, 'cause I don't want to do this again." The world thought it was over. The satellite feeds calmed. The thunder stopped. Stark canceled the global alert. For a moment, Earth breathed easy. But Thor wasn't done. Not with the storm, and not with himself. In the empty sky above New Asgard, lightning returned. Not violent, but sharp, controlled, precise, as if testing itself. He hovered above the clouds, arms out, the last soul anchor burning in his grip. The ring of Asgardian runes split open in midair, revealing a sealed message, left behind by Odin, never meant to be seen. A truth buried in shame. The Celestials never broke Thor to limit him. They did it to protect the realms from what he could become. Because the full god, whole, unlocked, wasn't just thunder. He was judgment. Thor's eyes flickered gold. The storm surged behind his back like wings. He didn't want it. But now that it was his, he had one last question to answer. Who deserved it? Stark's suit zipped open as he stepped onto the balcony, watching the upper atmosphere fracture under the weight of lightning that didn't fall, but hovered. Wolverine lit a cigar beside him, body still aching. "He's not attacking." "Not yet," Tony said. "Then you better say it before he changes his mind." Tony exhaled and tapped into the comms. "Thor, it's me." Silence. "I messed up," Stark said. "You know that already. But I need you to know, I didn't think it was you." The lightning in the clouds shifted just slightly. "I've made weapons my whole life. I thought that clone was one of them." Something twisted. "Wrong." He paused, but I didn't stop to ask. More silence. Stark lowered his voice. "You're not the only one who lost something." Then Thor's voice echoed like thunder across Earth's atmosphere. "I do not want vengeance." "Then what do you want?" Stark asked. "To never forget what I lost." The clouds peeled open. Thor descended, calm, grounded, terrifyingly centered. Wolverine stepped forward. "You good?" Thor nodded slowly. "I'm not whole. I never will be." "But," Logan grunted, "I'm still Thor, and I remember who my people are." Then he dropped the anchor ring into the sea, and the sky went still. Weeks later, the world moved on. The Avengers didn't speak about it publicly. The crater was sealed. The soul anchor erased from all records. But among them, something changed. Thor no longer spoke in rage. He spoke in warning. "I am not a god of war," he told them, "but I have been forged by it. And if you see the sky crack again," he looked at Stark, then Logan, "you'll know the storm isn't mine anymore. It's yours." Stark offered a rare nod. Logan gave no words, just a grunt, and then turned to leave. Thor watched them go, the weight of memory heavy in his chest. The clone was gone, the fragments buried. But the storm? The storm had simply learned. And somewhere deep beyond the realms, something else stirred. Something that felt the power return to Thor's blood. The Celestials. They were watching again. But this time, Thor would be ready. The end.